Next, we have 457, Mr. Scott Gudrun from the Allegheny County Concerned Citizens Group.
Thank you, the EPA, for this opportunity. My name is Gudrun Scott, and I'm a member of the Concerned Citizens of Allegheny County. A long time ago, I got a bachelor's degree in chemistry and a master's degree in teaching from Yale University. I'm only mentioning this because in organic chemistry, which was one of my favorites, we were told that if we were going to be working in chemistry labs with volatile liquids, we can expect to work there, including benzene as a solution. We can expect to work there for 5 years. We got to figure out what else to do in our life because it's a carcinogen. Several people who testified on Monday said that there was no drilling well in New York State that had been contaminated from fracking. I live in Independence Township in Allegheny County, and it's an old oil and gas field, and we have 4 neighbors that I personally know who have lost their drinking water. Only one of these 4 is willing to say so publicly for a variety of reasons, including embarrassment, intimidation, and getting money from the oil and gas companies or whatever. David Eddy made a YouTube video about how his drinking well water was polluted from fracking from a straight well, which was about 2 years ago. And the very professional and scientific organization called Toxic Targeting, it's on their website. I know David Eddy, he's a Mennonite, and his family, I know them very well, and he's very honest. I only want to say one more thing. I was very interested in this entire hearing because I want to see who is testifying, and I asked for a list of the people that are here that are speaking. And would everybody please raise their hand if they would also like that?
Thank you, folks. What we do is we prepare a list of speakers and we give that to EPA, and I'm sure they'll make some form of information available. It usually takes a day or 2.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Ms. Scott. Number 458 is Ms. Rosemary Klein, also from Allegheny County Concerned Citizens.
Marie.
I'm sorry.
Okay. We took away this country from the Indians, and we were expecting to have a good country contained well, but now it's threatened. Our water, air, the scenery of this gorgeous area is threatened. I don't have to go into more than that, but I would like to say this. You go down to the tip of Watkins Glen at the inlet, and you'll see red dumping continuously over the years. Who's dumping? Pennsylvania has laws that does not allow them to dump down there. And so they're coming up to the dumps in New York State, all along the southern tier, and dumping. Talk about the salt industry that Watkins has a lot of, and the other areas, Retzoff and the others out into the Geneseo area and around. Who is checking that salt? If we have radiation and we have chemicals pumped that are in the ground and they come up, what's going to stop them from going into our salt supply and later be given to us? Just a point. The well situation where you have 320 truck trips for a 2 million gallon of fracking, and then you have 1440 truck trips for a 9 million fracking. You can already see what's happening to the roads and so on. We are very worried about all the different kinds of pollution. Now, the Great Lakes have around them, the states and the provinces of Canada are limiting that they can be dumping there. Nothing can be taken out of the lakes. I urge the Finger Lakes to also do the same thing, that you check your water supply. And I would urge senior citizens to get involved. We do not want to be the next Love Canal.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Number 459 is Mr. Jeff Allison, a Catskill citizen.
Catskill Citizens for Safe Energy is a grassroots organization in Sullivan County, New York, with over 3,000 members. We urge you not to limit your study, but be as broad and comprehensive as possible, including the full economic impact of drilling. Sullivan County is barely 90 miles from New York City, and many in our county depend upon the region remaining a tourist destination, a regional recreational center, and a second home market. Tourism can be a stronger economic engine than gas development. According to the I Love New York website, New York State estimates that for every $1 generated directly by tourism, $7 is indirectly generated for the state's economy. The S-Guy states that for every $1 generated directly by the oil and gas industry, $1.40 is indirectly generated for the economy. I am one of over 200 volunteers at Bethel Woods Center for the Arts, a $100 million outdoor performing arts center and museum located on the original 1969 Woodstock Festival site in Bethel, New York. In 2009, Bethel Woods had over 220,000 visitors, ranked 39 in the top 100 worldwide amphitheater venues, welcomed over 27,000 attendees to our Harvest Festival, and employed more than 360 part-time, seasonal, and full-time positions. Bethel Woods is a cultural and economic engine for the region, but is one that depends on tourism to remain a vital part of the community landscape. Without clean water and a clean Delaware River, there won't be a reason for visitors to come to Sullivan County and to Bethel Woods. New York citizens, businesses, and visitors to the Catskills depend upon you to have a broad-based study of drilling, including its full economic impact. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. 460, Sam.Chiodo, Richili Enterprises.
Good afternoon. My name is Sam.Chiodo. I'm the Senior Vice President of Risk for Rosemarie Enterprises. Rosemarie Enterprises is a Syracuse, New York-based company. We own and operate 370 power units, and more importantly, we employ 530 people. Since April of this past year, and in support of the Marcellus Shale in Pennsylvania, we've been able to expand our workforce by 120 jobs. We are very confident that should that process be approved in the state of New York, that we'd be able to replicate that phenomenon. In 2010, 100,000 jobs will have been created in Pennsylvania, $3.8 billion paid to landowners, and over $1.5 billion to the government. It is an interesting area to examine. These jobs are not Wall Street jobs. 90% of the jobs that are being created are blue collar. These are the same kind of jobs that my mother and father worked. We're not recreating Wall Street jobs, we're creating Main Street jobs. Rosemarie has, for the past 2 months, been seeking additional employees in support of this drilling. We could employ an additional 200 people tomorrow if we were able to secure the equipment. I would strongly urge that while the science is of course critical, I like drinking fresh water as well. The issue is we need jobs. 20% of the state of New York is unemployed in the southern tier, which is, in my understanding, is the destination for this particular activity initially. I strongly suggest that the economics be weighed equal with the science, and I thank you for your time today.
Thank you, sir. I've been asked to make a short announcement. Apparently there are folks collecting out in the lobby and even outside. If you are intending to speak this afternoon, it's very important that you stay in the theater, because if you miss that cue to go in the back, then we don't know who's coming up. It becomes very difficult. So certainly stay within earshot of the theater itself so that when we call, you all are prepared. Number 461 is Bob Morency from RCAP.
Thank you for the sponsors for holding these meetings and giving RCAP Solutions the opportunity to speak regarding what we think is a very important component to any study of potential impacts of shale Gale exploration and extraction. We would like to address the effects on rural communities that will be locations of drilling activities, especially the effects on water and wastewater utilities. RCAP Solutions is the northeastern member of a nationwide network, the Rural Community Assistance Partnership. The network is a nonprofit. This network of regional nonprofit agencies, widely known as the RCAPs, has for the past 40 years been in the forefront of helping small, low-income rural communities cope with issues surrounding drinking water, wastewater, solid waste, and housing. We are funded through the kind support of several federal and state agencies, including US EPA. And we have developed a deep understanding on how regulations and development affect communities, especially the effects on utilities and the management of these utilities. Much of our work is under the umbrella of capacity development, and as a result, we have a unique perspective on how small rural communities function when under stress, such as those that affect infrastructure management. I believe this qualifies as a potential impact on drinking water, as the delivery of drinking water can't be separated from the actual water itself. The purpose of this comment is to advance the interests of small rural communities, and especially their interest in protecting drinking water quality and quantity, as well as the integrity of wastewater treatment plants. These utilities are often the pride of these communities and in fact are crucial to allowing people to live in these places with good public health quality. RCAP Solutions takes a position that any study should take into account the impacts not only on the natural environment but also on the built environment, which includes the infrastructure and utilities in rural areas. We wish to advocate here for inclusion in the study of a section on the impacts of communities, especially on water and wastewater utilities. We hope that this would include a careful look at what kind of technical assistance might be necessary in communities feeling stress from drilling and extraction. RCAP Solutions is pleased to say that we'd be happy to participate in this study, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Number 462, Rachel Treichler from Sierra Club. I'm not even sure I can read this. I'm sorry. You'll need to introduce yourself.
My name is Rachel Treichler. I'm an attorney in Steuben County, New York. I am the chair of the Sierra Club Atlantic Chapter's Gas Drilling Task Force, but I am speaking today in my personal capacity. When I moved upstate from New York City in 2002, I began to be consulted by landowners about gas leasing. Steuben County is a county that has had extensive drilling in the Trenton Black River Formation. And in order to advise my clients, I started doing research, and I did a lot of research about what's been happening out west. And I found out that there is extensive evidence of damaging environmental impacts from gas drilling. Tens of thousands have wells, hundreds of thousands of wells have been drilled in western states, and there have been terrible environmental impacts from these wells. I also discovered that our federal environmental laws do not protect the citizens of our country against many of the impacts of oil and gas drilling, because oil and gas drilling are exempted from the federal environmental laws. One of the things that concerns me about this study is that I think it's really a delay tactic that Congress, rather than address and fix these exemptions in our federal environmental laws, Congress has created this study process to study what is, there's already a great deal of evidence, and Congress needs to act on this. So I think what we really have here is, in addition to the environmental problem, we have a political problem. We have the political problem that our representatives are not protecting the citizens from the consequences of oil and gas drilling, and I think that all of us need to keep this firmly in mind in November when we vote.
Thank you. We turn now to 463.